Hey, y'all, welcome to The Uplift. Come on in. We got a great show for you today and a great cast of characters. We've got a high school senior who not only overcame the long odds to graduate, but was able to walk up and collect his diploma. Got a group of teens who risked their own lives to save their neighbors. A dog helping the people who are used to helping others. A woman with a lot of giant friends, how she changed the lives of these elephants in need. And the artist behind the drawing that has become the official I Voted sticker for one New York county. All that, plus the top heartwarming videos we think you need to see. This is The Uplift. Welcome to The Uplift. We call it the show that lifts you up for at least the next 30 minutes. I'm David Begnaud, and we are going to start with our top heartwarming videos. The first one comes from a pretty expressive 3-year-old. Watch this.
And I'm so precious, and I'm so really happy, and super happy.
I'm glad you're happy.
You're glad I'm happy? Well, Daddy is happy. And are you happy too?
I'm so happy.
Okay. Are 3 of you?
What a cutie patootie. Take a look at this video that shows a pretty sweet moment between a husband and a wife.
Thank you, darling.
I'm finished, yes. You ain't seen nothing yet, kid.
Says it all, doesn't it? That video was captured by Sarah Kennedy Norquoy, who says her mother has vascular dementia and has been declining steadily for a few years. Her dad was also recently diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia. They've been together for nearly 60 years, and her dad still does as much as he can. The next video shows 8-year-old Riley, who tried out for the softball team and was waiting to see if she'd made it. Watch.
Will you read this out loud?
Why? Okay. Thanks for coming to tryouts. Hi, Kristen. I'm so sorry for the delete or whatever here. We would love to have Riley on the team. Please let us know if she accepts or whatever this offer. Just a heads up.
Okay.
I made the team.
Yeah.
I want to have it back. I want to have it back.
That was so sad.
Are you excited? Are you so excited? Addie made the team too. You hear me?
Made the team, baby girl. Oh, the joy of that. As they say, you're never too young or too old to start a new hobby. Check out this grandpa. He proves just that. They call him Papa Rudy, and he picked up baking at 90 years old. He's 92 today, and his granddaughters say he bakes them a cake every time they visit. First responders dedicate their lives to helping others, and the job, as you know, is pretty stressful. So, who is there to help them? CBS Minnesota's Susan Elizabeth Littlefield has more.
It's one of the most important jobs there is, and it's one of the most stressful, too. And as of late, calls for help have doubled.
I know crews that have worked upwards of 8-9 calls a day.
So mHealth Fairview EMS made a new hire. This is Clayton, the therapy dog.
His main purpose is just to be a dog and be a cuddly dog that people like to interact with so that they can kind of remove themselves for at least a moment.
And as we were shooting this very story, we watched it play out in real time. After a team got back from a really tough scene, Clayton came to greet them.
Walked in, I was like, oh, I instantly forgot about that call. It was a good mental break before we have to go back out there and do it all over again.
And he's not just good in crisis, he's perfect for company between calls.
It's so nice to be able to come in and take a minute and sit down and just relax and pet a pup.
A little serotonin boost, pet a dog, and then gets you better prepared to go out and help other people when you're filling your cup with some puppy cuddles. It's great. Yeah.
Clayton is trained on command, including the command to snuggle.
Snuggle.
Kevin Kane is an EMS supervisor and Clayton's new housemate.
He's the perfect mix of like goofy but attentive.
Attentive to the needs of those who tend to the needs of others.
He helps us help people better too. That's good for everybody.
Let me tell you, that is no joke. So I didn't grow up with dogs, and I kind of wouldn't have understood a story like that until I finally got a dog, and I'm telling you, he's my pride and joy. And I tell people, my blood pressure literally drops when I'm around my dog. If you don't have one, I advise you, try it. Coming up, meet the teens who risk their own lives to save their neighbors. What did they do? We'll tell you right after the break. Plus, another teenager who faced a major health challenge but overcame it at graduation to walk at his graduation. So our next story is about a teenager who was determined to graduate from high school, even though he faced a lot of challenges. Caitlin O'Kane talked to him about how he overcame the odds to get his diploma.
Imagine being a regular high school student. You're almost 16, you get your first job, and then you're diagnosed with a brain tumor. That's what happened to Christian Mendoza. He faced multiple near-death moments, was hospitalized for months, and underwent more than 20 surgeries at Akron Children's Hospital.
The parent's worst nightmare. It's not something any parent ever wants to hear. He had to reconnect his brain and his body. So not only did he have to relearn how to walk for graduation, he had to relearn how to talk. He couldn't talk for months and months. He had to relearn how to eat. He had to relearn how to pick up his phone, every movement that your body makes, he had to relearn how to do that.
Despite all the obstacles, Christian was determined to finish high school.
He played catch up and he did all of his studies virtually. This kid that's had 20-something brain tumors had an A in virtual geometry. I mean, he's so smart. So smart.
He not only completed all of his coursework, he had hours of therapy a day to relearn how to walk, with one goal in mind.
To walk through graduation or walking to get my diploma, that was just something I wanted to do.
And when that day came, Christian reached his goal, walking to receive his high school diploma.
I just thought I need to walk for it because, it's my big moment. I need to get through it.
Next up, Christian hopes to go to college and study psychology so he can one day help people just like himself.
If you keep on moving, then you can keep on doing.
Christian, we love you, buddy. That is a great story. Thanks to Caitlin for that. Our next story is about a group of California teenagers who risked their own lives to save their neighbors. CBS Sacramento's Marley Gittner has the story.
Hey, someone got he needs air, he needs air.
One by one, 3 teenagers led a family out of a burning home.
The little girl, yeah, and then the other kid in the back, that's 7. I think 7 to 8.
When Jesus, better known as Chewy to his buddies, saw smoke at a neighbor's house, he ran to make sure everyone was all right.
We started banging. We started banging on the doors. We started throwing rocks to the windows to see if they'll wake up.
When that wasn't enough, he kicked down the door.
I saw a little kid, so I took him to the front. I gave them to someone to carry him, and then I went back.
Chewy's sister caught all the chaos on camera.
In my voice in the video, you can hear it's already cracking because I wanted to cry. I was just scared.
What about you, Pedro? Were you scared?
I mean, kind of, but once I seen Chewy come out, I was like, I'm going to just go in there with them. So if anything happens to him, I could get him out.
Sounds like you all had each other's backs.
Basically.
They did something really, really amazing.
Yeah, way to go, Mom. When you were watching the video, though, did you get a little nervous?
I did. I was scared because I'm hearing Chewy's sister, screaming, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? That fear of a parent, like you want to protect your children.
That instinct clearly passed down to these boys who never hesitated to save complete strangers from a burning house.
It's the right thing to do, like it's like basically put it in your shoes. Like if your house is burning, would you like someone to help you or not? Like that, like I would appreciate if someone came and helped me if my house is burning down.
It's that human instinct to help others. We've all got it. And when you see others doing it, young or old, it's infectious, isn't it? Coming up, what's behind the meaning of a pretty wacky drawing that won a contest to become the official I voted sticker? Plus, a woman dedicated to rescuing elephants, how she convinced other people to help give them the love that they deserve. We're back in a moment. Welcome back. When a U.S. Marine without any close relatives recently died, his Wisconsin community proved he did have family. CBS Minnesota's Jennifer Mayerly has that story.
They all came.
But I thought mileage doesn't matter, It's just honoring a fellow soldier.
For the same reason.
Humbling, very humbling to see so many people for a gentleman that did not have the family.
U.S. Marine Gail Seafluth given a full military funeral and burial. Neighbor Holly Champagne says he was special to her family.
He's just a big, grumpy, tall man who was just super nice if you got underneath that exterior.
The Vietnam veteran died in January, and when the friend who was to care for his ashes also died, the County Veterans Services Office planned a burial. They invited everyone via social media to thank the 76-year-old for his commitment to country and to honor his life.
In the last 5 years, I've done this 4 times now for veterans who didn't have family. So it's to bring awareness that if it's going to happen here in small Barron County, it's happening all over the United States.
Patriot Guard and Legion riders, veterans, civilians, strangers, all wanted to pay their respects.
He's a veteran. I'm a veteran, so there's sort of a kinship even though I never knew the man.
It's a touching situation to honor this veteran.
People who came, who are here to honor Gail, tell me he will always have family.
He deserves every bit of this. He didn't think he did, but he deserves every bit of this.
The kindness of strangers. Our next story is about aspiring lifesavers. So there's a camp in Minnesota that is dedicated to teaching young people how to be first responders. Here's CBS Minnesota's Susan Elizabeth Littlefield.
These skippers are smooth as can be.
Because I like helping people, so they talk about CPR or helping people. So I was really interested in that when they first talked about it.
Tajay is intrigued as well. What have you liked the most?
Probably seeing the fire truck shoot the water.
The students learned about fire rescues, and now they're learning about the heaviness of water rescues.
I'm really fond of them saving people or finding, retrieving bodies, so it would help families feel much at ease or better.
The camp is funded by donations from people like Steve.
All of us at one time in our life, almost all of us, have eaten at a smorgasbord. This gives them an opportunity to taste a little of this and a little of that and a little of this, and hopefully they'll bite into the right product and step forward in a career path.
And they are moving forward, whether by land or lake, with bravery and humility.
Even though it's really, probably physically tough, I'd be willing to take the risk and do it.
I can see you as a hero.
Thank you. I'm not a hero, but.
When we come back, meet the founder of Thailand's oldest elephant sanctuary and the gentle giants that she cares for. Plus, how will this unlikely drawing be used to promote voter turnout? And what the heck inspired it anyway? Hear from the 14-year-old artist who created it right after the break. So when the pandemic hit, a lot of us stayed inside without any visitors, right? Well, some elephants in Thailand can relate, but there's one woman who's making sure those elephants in need get all the love they deserve. A lady we love, Elizabeth Palmer, went there to get the story.
She would take me.
Let Chylert loves
This is
elephants,
what she wants. I'm sorry about her. She's a big boss here.
and they love her right back. She's the founder of Thailand's oldest elephant sanctuary.
She like to communicate.
What's she saying to you, though?
I don't know.
Before COVID, it was a magnet for foreign tourists who paid to see these animals roaming free. But the pandemic wiped out both tourism and the money it brought in. For 2 years, the only visitors have been a few volunteers, like A.J. Hill from California, determined to help Chylert Sanctuary as a humane alternative to cruel elephant circuses.
The way that they have to train the elephants is they like abuse them. They straight up, they put nails in their ears and they chain them up so they can't move anywhere. It's upsetting.
Chylert's animals are all elderly, formerly abused, or unwell, so looking after them is expensive.
She's got cancer, this one?
Cancer.
COVID dealt a double whammy to Lek. Suddenly she was dealing with a lot less money and many more mouths to feed.
30 extra animals were dropped off here during the pandemic by owners who could no longer afford them.
They just left them here?
They just left them here, yes.
So Chylert added them to the family and made sure somehow that the food wouldn't run short. In the kitchen, it's all hands on deck, right down to the littlest. The sanctuary grew some of its own food. More came from local farmers, and upward of $1 million rolled in from donors, especially in the United States.
COVID has been a disaster in many ways. But you said for you it's brought something good.
Yeah, COVID brought also positive to elephant living in Thailand.
Specifically, it brought a lull in mass elephant tourism. And Chylert spotted an opportunity. On the property next door, elephants used to perform for up to 2,000 tourists a day. But when the tour buses stopped coming and the elephant riding saddles sat idle, Chylert convinced the owners to take off the chains and turn this place into a sanctuary too. When we visited, Tom the vet was dodging a very protective mom to dab ointment on her 2-day-old baby. He may not grow up in the wild, but thanks to Lek Chylert, none of these animals will have to do tricks in a circus. Like her own elephants, they'll be free to roam in a protected home.
I don't know if you believe in heaven, but if you do, there's a place there for her. You know those I voted stickers that we get on Election Day all the time? Well, one county in New York State has a brand new design, and when you see it, you might not believe it's really official. Caitlin O'Kane spoke to the artist behind the now legendary design.
When you think of stickers you get for voting on Election Day, you may picture a patriotic design that reads, "I voted." Ulster County, New York wanted to reimagine those stickers, so they held a design contest. 6 stickers were chosen as finalists. There's an American bald eagle, red, white, and blue motifs, and then there's this. 14-year-old Hudson Rowan is the mastermind behind the design. It was his mom who told him he should enter the contest.
When she told me about it, I wasn't totally psyched on the idea. I don't know, it wasn't really my thing. And then she encouraged me, so I was like, sure, I'll try it.
Hudson's unconventional I voted sticker took off with about 93% of the vote. Yes, you heard that right. Hudson steadily had a majority of the votes. But what is the inspiration for the sticker?
Oh, that's a good question. I always get asked that, and I don't really know, like, I've always been doing, like, those types of drawings. So I guess it, like, the kind of, like, jagged lines, crazy spider-like drawings. So I think that kind of just influenced it, because when I was little, I used to paint a lot, and I used to paint these things I would call spider robots, which was just like a circle with legs. But when you look at the I voted sticker, it looks like the spider robot that I used to make when I was little.
He couldn't have imagined the sensation it would become.
I didn't think anything of it. I thought if I submit this, my mom will stop asking me to submit it. So I submitted it and then left it alone. And then mom told me, like, a little bit later, Hudson, you have thousands of votes.
Thousands turned to 20,000, then 200,000.
And here I am with 220,000 votes. And it's insane, like, how fast that happens.
There's only about 178,000 people in Ulster County, so many more outside the area casted their vote for Hudson. And he hopes the sticker encourages people to cast votes again in the election.
Seeing it and how much attention is brought to, I hope that also brings attention to voting and will influence people to vote, to cast their vote, and also to get the sticker.
He didn't go into this thinking his original design would make a big impact, but that spider robot has become legendary.
I feel like because it's so different from what you'd expect when you think of a sticker like that. You're scrolling down and you're seeing like eagles and like red, white, and blue and stuff. And as you're scrolling down, all of a sudden you see this thing, boom, like spider, creature, crazy head. And it very stands out and it catches the eye. And I know if like I was looking at a contest like that, I would see that and I'd be like, oh, these are cool, bam. That's the one I want. I want to wear that.
Take it from Hudson. Be unconventional. Be yourself. Be different. Stand out. It works. Trust me. And that is our show. I hope this news brightened your day, lifted you up maybe. Sure did for me. I'm David Begnaud. This is The Uplift. Make it a good one.